Did you yourself see what was going on outside at all? Did you see those aid distribution centres? Did you see the rushes to get that food that people so desperately need?
So I didn't go to any of the aid distribution centres, but my colleagues did, because they were absolutely desperate and their children were starving. And at any point where they heard that there was a food drop, there'd be, panic amongst the people of, are we going to be able to get there? Are we going to be able to get food? One of the main topics of conversation every day was how much was a bag of flour. And in Nasser Hospital, a lot of staff weren't being paid, so they would do these additional shifts in the EMT hospitals where they would get 200 shekels for the day. And a bag of flour, 1 kilogram bag of flour, which isn't enough to feed a family of 5, would cost between 150 and 250 shekels.
Yeah. Where are they buying it from? Because there is this accusation, isn't there, from Israel, the Israeli government, that the food is being taken by those who are then selling it at exorbitant prices on the black market. Is that what people are having to resort to? I mean, if they're desperate, they're going to try and get it from wherever they can. Is that what was happening?
Look, I'm not a politician. I'm here as a humanitarian. And what I saw were emaciated children. The crucial point is that before the war, there was about 500 trucks of aid coming into Gaza every day. And remember, Israel has complete control over every entry and border into Gaza. And so they were allowing about 500 trucks a day. And since then, and you can look at the UN figures, it's been less than 10%.
Yeah.
And this is a decimated population who have had more than 6 Hiroshimas dropped on them. This is a land that is about a quarter the size of London. The entire strip of Gaza is a quarter the size of London. And they've been moved into 14% of that land because 86% has been called an evacuation zone, and they've been actively bombing those areas. So now you've got 2 million starving people in the same size as Exeter, which in our country, in our census in 2021, had 130,000 people in it. That's 2 million people with no water, no sanitation, no food, no medical supplies. On the 22nd of July, when I left, Israel army bombed the WHO medical warehouse. And there were people on my convoy with me that were still shaking, that literally were lucky to escape with their lives. And these were international volunteers. They were told to evacuate at 4 o'clock, and the big tanks came rolling through the compound gates at 11 a.m., shooting at will. And there's no accountability. All you have is our testimony, because journalists, as you know, aren't allowed in. The Gazan people are the most community-minded and supportive people I've ever met in my life. I had patients sacrifice their own medical equipment and food to give to children on my ward under my care. And despite the situation where they feel that the world has completely abandoned them, they are still coming into work dignified and doing their best for their communities every single day. So yeah, there's a huge amount of stress and strife. There's a huge amount of pain because people are losing their family members, their loved ones. I had a patient who was 21 years old. She was 6 months pregnant. She was blown up in her tent. Her husband was killed. She lost her eye. She had an open fracture, and both her legs were completely destroyed from the bomb blast. And she was pregnant. When I was pregnant, my husband wouldn't let me be in any state where I could be harmed in any way. And this woman is completely emaciated with no vitamins, no food. And one day her baby stopped moving.